So even though I'm a beginner, is it working? I don't have a lot of knowledge about Buddhist literature, but I I do feel interested in learning more about Dhamma and the selfless impermanent nature. So after I um, share my understanding with CLA Amoha and some of the others, I came to understand that even though my understanding is still very surface level, but I can accept it to continue to practice and learn. Um, and even though to come to fully understand about the selfless impermanent nature is not easy, I do realize a great benefit of meditation. So, for example, a couple of days ago, I was very sick. I had a very bad sore throat, and then it made me sick, and then my body temperature became really high, and I slept all the way commuting from there to the temple, and then the whole night while everyone was sharing their understanding about Dhamma, I kept sleeping because I was so tired. Um, the next day I did feel better, but I especially felt much better only when I meditated. So meditation really helps me, even when at home. I try to meditate before I go to bed and after waking up every single day, and then try to keep a precepts. And I think meditation and keeping precepts, in general, they help me to have a more stable and pure mind, like Seattle taught. And the other night when I talked to you one by one about my personal matter, I came to understand more about the power of merit and how a stable and pure mind can help me in coming to understand my own problem and how to resolve it. So that was it about Dhamma. Uh, it's not that I don't want to share more, but at this point, I don't, nothing much came to my mind. But about the trip in general, I think that I've learned a lot from everyone's daily interaction, especially when it comes to misunderstanding and conflict, and seeing how um, people deal with their conflicts um, can help me learn as well. And this trip in general is really valuable to me. And the experience to walk with the other monks from the Walk for Peace group is also really a really new experience that I have. Um, so in my perspective, even though this time we don't have we didn't have a chance to conduct many meditation retreats, but hopefully in between March and April, if I can follow Seattle's and meditate more, then I can definitely share more about my understanding about Dhamma.
If you are sick, what do you do?
Safe?
If you are sick, if you are not feeling well in the trip, you are only sleeping.
So it depends on the condition. So for example, like if sleeping is the only thing that I can do, then I will prioritize sleeping. Usually when I don't feel well in general, I will meditate. But because that time specifically, because I was so sick, like too tired, I naturally became really sleepy. So that's why I slept the whole way. But the next day when I felt better, I still I still joined the meditation retreat. And then I meditated more. And then that was when I realized that my health become much and much better.
How long have you been practicing meditation regularly?
Since the Vasa retreat, in 2025, I joined you for a month and a half. And then after that, I try to meditate regularly every single day before going to bed and after waking up. Oh, okay. Because I can't really hear it. Yeah, it's okay.
Do you understand my teaching about Vipassana,
About
meditation or Vipassana?
I do understand to a certain extent. And whenever I don't understand anything, I can detach. Um, I can share a little bit about how I usually meditate so you can understand a little bit more about my practice. So usually when I meditate, I don't have a specific object that I paid attention to. Usually, whatever comes in my mind or my body, if that object is very clear, then I will observe it. So it will come, like it will appear naturally, and then it will disappear naturally as well. Like I can see the process. Not all the time, but sometime.
How do you understand about detachment?
So basically, based on Seattle explanation and my understanding in general, I would say that doing or not doing without grasping or rejecting is detachment. You're mindful of your action, but at the same time, you're not grasping or rejecting anything. And you came to be aware that doing is doing only, to be used only for quality information, either to naturally observed, or for example, like if I have a huge problem that I have to deal with, then practicing mindfulness and detachment also helps me to not just detach, but like from mindfulness and detachment, I have quality information that I can use to solve my own problem. And when you told me the other night that my problem is not an actual problem, actually, I used to meditate, and that understanding, that realization that it's not an actual problem, used to come to my mind as well. But because I don't practice regularly, and I don't practice enough, that is why my strong attachment, and suffering in general, they came back, and they made my mind become very unstable and not pure. But I feel like if I keep meditating, then everything is gonna be fine eventually. In it, in its own way, not necessarily the way that I want it to be.
Most of the people are used to do everything only from one side, not from the other side. Now, Shariputra Dida is busy in the kitchen by washing, cleaning, but she is doing only from her side, not from the other side.
Yes.
She cannot understand the side effect of her action. That is the natural mistake of the living beings. Only when we are doing with mindfulness and detachment from oneself, we can do silently, without side effect, by saving merits also. If we are doing something with attachment on oneself, there will be a lot of noise, and a lot of
Effect.
unnecessary speech. I do like this, I clean, I cook, I donate, like that. Not about the others, only about oneself. That is doing with attachment on oneself. Because of strong attachment on oneself, it is really difficult to detach from oneself, or oneself means someone or something. She used to do like this, that's why she will continue doing like this. In this way, the other people will be inconvenienced with her sound or action. In this way, she herself will suffer the same inconvenience and problems by the others. So this is very clear example, but everyone is the same. There will be more or less. If you are grasping yourself and your family as your own, in this way you can be in harmony with your mother, but you will face with difficulties with the others because of attaching and grasping on oneself. So that's why detachment is important to save marriage, to reduce the mistake, to save the time, to detach from oneself also.
But it's not easy to do that because sometimes the problem is, I realize that the actual problem is not about what is happening around, but more about what is happening in my mind. And not all problems are clear. Like it's not like I can be able to observe them clearly. Many of them are subtle. Like not easy to see. Does that mean that I need to meditate more with mindfulness and detachment? I mean, I can do without grasping the fact that I have to be able to observe my problem as well. I can just do, and then it will give me, and from my own practice and experience, I can have more quality information to keep doing.
You need to know more and more about unstable and impure mind of yourself. In this way, your mind, there will be more and more stable and pure mind. Not knowing about unstable and impure mind is the cause of more and more unstable and impure mind. Knowing the truth of present unstable and impure mind is the cause of less and less unstable and impure mind. You need to know more and more.
Especially by practicing meditation and doing good deeds.
Yes, practicing meditation limitlessly, everywhere, every time, every situation, with everyone, even with the animals also. What is your flight time? Deepa Okay.
I think I should go now. Yeah.
Safe flight.
Yes. Thank you for your teaching, Dhamma teaching. It's really helpful to me.
My pleasure. See you next time.
Yes. Endure. In 1 month.
Yes, sir.
Let's see how I practice. Next time when I share,